Have you ever had a period in life where, on paper, everything looked fine, yet inside your chest it felt like a heavy stone was pressing down day and night? Have you ever lain awake at night, knowing you have food, a job, people around you, but still feeling restless, guilty, anxious, like your mind is dragging invisible chains behind it wherever you go? Welcome back to the channel, my friend. I am really glad you are here, because today we are going to walk straight into a sentence that many people chant but very few people really experience deep down. It is the line from the Heart Sutra that says, in simple English, that when the mind has no hindrance, there is no fear, no more basic fear, no more twisted thinking, and the heart can rest in real peace. The article we are expanding today asks a powerful question in everyday language. What does it actually feel like when you are not carrying anything in your heart? And even more important, how do you walk from the life you are living now, full of worries and attachments, to that state of a mind with no hindrance, no heavy stone inside? So in this long, story-based script, we are going to do several things together. First, we will unpack what that heavy stone in your chest really is, and why it has less to do with your outer circumstances and more to do with how your mind is clinging. Then, we will follow a few very familiar lives, people who could easily be you or me, as they discover how their own thoughts, stories, guilt, and expectations are the real things pressing on them. We will see how the wisdom of the Heart Sutra is not some abstract philosophy, but a very practical map for loosening those knots. Along the way, we will bring in the themes of awakening, wisdom, karma, compassion, practice, and destiny, because they are at the core of this journey. Finally, we will come back to your daily life and talk frankly about how you can start lightening your own inner backpack, not one day in the distant future, but tonight, when you turn off the lights and close your eyes. Let us begin with the feeling itself. Think of a time when nothing dramatically bad was happening, yet you could not relax. You had a bed to sleep in, but your sleep was shallow. You went to dinner with friends, but you laughed with only half your heart. When you were alone, you felt heavy and pressured, as if you were failing at something you could not even name. Maybe you kept telling yourself, and others told you, you are fine, you have a job, you have food, you have a family. Why are you still unhappy? The original article describes very clearly that strange experience life is not a disaster, but the heart feels as if a big rock is sitting on it. You might think, if I just change jobs, it will be better. If I just find the right partner, it will be better. If my salary goes up, if my body looks better, if my family stops nagging, if my child behaves, if my boss appreciates me, then I will finally be light inside. So you keep rearranging the furniture of your life, but the same heaviness follows you from place to place. The teaching behind the article says something a bit uncomfortable. What we call burden is not only what life throws at us. Often, what really weighs us down is what we add on top of it: our clinging, our fear, our self-blame, our need to control, our refusal to let go. The way we keep arguing with reality in our heads. In the language of the Heart Sutra, this is hindrance in the mind. It is not the outside event itself. It is the way our mind wraps around it like a vine choking a tree. The sutra goes on to say that once the mind is free of those hindrances, there is no fear. Without those clinging vines, the heart is open, responsive, and able to move through life with a kind of deep ease, even when circumstances are not perfect. So what exactly are we clinging to that hurts so much? The original article names several things in very human terms we cling to: face, to status, to our image of ourselves, to being a good child, a good parent, a good partner. We cling to our money, our house, our reputation, our relationships. We cling to old injuries and grudges. We carry past mistakes like chains. We are haunted by things we think are unforgivable. We are terrified of future loss and loneliness. On the surface, we say, "I am just worried about work," or "I am just worried about my family." But under that, there is often something deeper. I am afraid I am not enough. I am afraid I will be abandoned. I am afraid that if I am not useful and successful, my life has no value. It is these quiet sentences that generate hindrance in the mind. Let us turn all of this into living stories, so you can see how it plays out in real time. Imagine 3 people lying in bed at night, in 3 different apartments in the same city. The first is a woman in her mid-30s named Anna. To outsiders, she looks successful. She has a stable job, a partner, and a small apartment she bought with a mortgage. Her social media shows weekend brunches, gym selfies, and photos of trips. But when the lights go off, a familiar tightness grips her chest. She thinks about work. Her boss gave her a strange look during the meeting. An email came without a smiley face. A colleague has been performing well and getting praise. Immediately her mind begins to spin. What if they do not need me anymore? What if I get fired? What if I fall behind? What if others move up and I am left in the same position forever? Her heart beats faster. She scrolls through job listings even though she is not ready to apply. She imagines losing her apartment, being judged by her friends, disappointing her parents. She is not just worried about money. She is clinging to the image of herself as competent and in control. She also thinks about her partner. They had a small argument earlier. The words were not very sharp, but underneath, she heard a tone of boredom. Her mind whispers, "What if he leaves you? What if he finds someone better? What if you spend the rest of your life alone?" Suddenly, every small silence becomes a threat. She is not just thinking about relationships. She is clinging to the idea that her worth depends on being loved by someone else. The second person is a man in his 50s named Mark. He has spent his whole life building a family and a career. Now his children are grown. His body has more aches. His company has started to bring in younger staff with new skills. When he lies down at night, he does not scroll his phone as much as Anna. Instead, he stares at the ceiling and plays a movie in his mind. The movie is made of regrets. The time he shouted at his son without listening. The time he chose work over attending his daughter's performance. The times he lied in small ways to protect his pride. The promises he made to his wife and did not keep. The chances he had to be kind and was impatient instead. Each memory is heavy. He thinks, "I cannot go back and change it. It is too late. I have damaged people. I am a bad person at my core." He does not just feel regret. He clings to an identity: "I am unforgivable." That identity's, it's in his chest like a stone. The third person is a young woman in her 20s named Lisa. She lies in bed with headphones on. Music drowns out her thoughts, or tries to. Underneath, a tide of comparison and self-judgment is rising. She scrolls through images of slim, smiling influencers with perfect skin, perfect partners, perfect careers. She looks at her own reflection in the dark phone screen and thinks, "I am behind. I am not interesting. I am not pretty enough, smart enough, unique enough." She clings to an ideal image of herself that she can never live up to. She is trapped between who she thinks she should be and who she actually is. If you notice carefully, in each of these cases, the outer situation is not life or death. These are ordinary lives. No one is starving. No one is being tortured. However, the suffering is still intense. Why? Because the mind is not free. It is stuck to images, stories, and identities. It is full of hindrances. This is where the Heart Sutra drops its quiet thunderbolt with no hindrance in the mind. There is no fear. Far beyond deluded thinking, one reaches a state of peace. This does not mean that if you chant these words, your boss will suddenly love you, your children will erase all your mistakes, and Instagram will stop showing you unrealistic bodies. It means that there is a way to relate to all of this without being crushed. The original article invites us to ask a simple but radical question: what if the real practice is not to change every external condition first, but to slowly, patiently see through the inner clinging that turns natural problems into unbearable burdens? Let us go back to Anna and see what happens when she meets this teaching. One day, after another anxious night, she sees a video about the Heart Sutra. Someone explains the phrase "no hindrance" in the mind in very down-to-earth language. They say something like, when things happen, our mind immediately adds a second and third layer of suffering with thoughts like, this should not be happening. I cannot accept this. I know exactly what this means for my future. Practice is learning to see these added layers and let them go. The problem is not that we have responsibilities on relationships. The problem is that we try to control what we cannot control and base our entire identity on them. The words land in her chest. She remembers how every time something small shifts at work, she writes a whole dramatic story about being abandoned or failing forever. She realizes that what is suffocating her is not just workload. It is her belief that her value as a human being rises and falls with her performance and others' judgment. That night, she tries a new experiment. When the old thoughts arise, she does not try to force them away, but she looks at them more clearly. She lies in bed and says inwardly, right now, I feel afraid of losing my job. Right now, I am telling myself that if I am not successful, I am nothing. But is that thought absolutely true? Who would I be if I did not believe that sentence? For a moment, her mind is silent, blank. In that gap, she feels something strange, a taste of freedom. Nothing outside her changed, but for a few seconds her heart was not clutching. Over the next months, she begins a daily practice. In the morning, she reads a few lines from a teaching about emptiness, about how things have no fixed, independent essence. In the afternoon, when stress hits at work, she tries to notice the way her mind grabs onto stories and catastrophes them. She silently repeats to herself, this is a situation, not my identity. My job role is not my whole being. At night, before bed, she reflects on her day and looks for moments when she was trapped in hindrance and moments when she was a little freer. At first, this practice is clumsy. Old habits still pull her around. She still gets jealous. She still panics when a project goes wrong. But slowly, something changes. Her sense of self, which used to be tightly glued to job, status, and praise, starts to loosen. She discovers that even when she makes a mistake and someone is displeased, she does not collapse as deeply as before. There is a small space between the event and her inner reaction. That small space is the beginning of no hindrance in the mind. Now let us look at Mark, the man full of regrets. His story echoes something the original article points out. Many people are not crushed by what is happening right now, but by what they keep replaying from the past. They carry guilt like a backpack full of stones, never putting it down, never transforming it, only suffering under its weight. One day, Mark attends a memorial service for a friend. The speaker shares a short reflection. When we are alive, we often cling to old mistakes and carry them alone. But the point of recognizing our errors is not to torture ourselves, it is to change. The Heart Sutra tells us that deep wisdom sees that there is no fixed self. That means the you who hurt others in the past is not a separate, permanent thing. If you use your regret to become more compassionate now, that is living proof that you are not frozen in your worst moments. These words hit him. He realizes that he has been using his mistakes as a reason to stay stuck, as proof he is hopeless. That, too, is a form of hindrance. He has been clinging to a negative identity. He has forgotten that the very fact he feels pain about his actions shows there is a seed of conscience and wisdom in him. That night, when his usual movie of regret starts to play, he does something different. He does not shut it down, and he does not indulge it. Instead, he watches it with a mind that says, "Yes, I did those things. Yes, they hurt people. Yes, I wish I had done better. I cannot change the scenes that have already been filmed, but I can change the script from this moment onward. I can treat my regret as a teacher, not as a prison sentence." He begins a practice of repentance and vows. In bed, in the dark, he brings to mind the people he has hurt. He speaks to them inwardly. "When I shouted at you, when I ignored you, when I chose my pride over your feelings, I was ignorant and reactive. I see that now. I am sorry. From this moment on, I will try my best not to repeat this." Then he imagines those people not as frozen in pain, but as beings with their own struggles and karma. He wishes them well. He asks that whatever good he does in the future may in some small way help them too. This does not erase what happened. It does not guarantee that those people will forgive him or that their lives will get better. But something shifts inside him. The stone of guilt is no longer static. It is melting into a strong determination to live differently. His regret is now linked to awakening and practice. Instead of to self-hatred, the hindrance in his mind loosens. He starts to pay attention during the day. When he feels the urge to shout or dismiss someone, the memory of his nightly vows rises. He pauses and chooses a softer response. Over time, he sees that he can become the kind of father, friend, and colleague he wished he had been earlier. He cannot rewrite the past, but he can shape the present. That realization brings a peace that surprised him. Now let us turn to Lisa, the young woman caught in endless comparison. The original article talks about modern people whose hearts are full of hanging points, places where they are stuck on beauty, on love, on approval, on online attention. They do not just want these things. They define their entire worth based on them, so their hearts are always tense. One evening, after a particularly intense session of envy and despair, Lisa suddenly feels exhausted, not just physically, but existentially tired. She tosses her phone aside and stares at the ceiling. In her chest, a quiet question arises: is this going to be my whole life? Counting likes, checking who viewed my stories, measuring my worth by other people's activity. Is there any other way to live? A few days later, she visits a friend who has been practicing meditation. On the wall of her friend's living room, there is a short quote from the Heart Sutra. Translated in simple words, there is nothing that can really be grasped. Her friend explains, This means that everything you are clinging to, whether it is appearance, praise, or status, has no stable core. It changes. It depends on causes and conditions. When you try to hold on as if it were solid, your hand closes on air. That gap between reality and expectation is suffering. Her friend adds, the practice is not to stop caring overnight. It is to gradually see through the illusions, to see that your true value does not rise and fall with the numbers on a screen. When you start to feel that directly, the need to compare will weaken. That night, back in her own bed, Lisa lies down without her headphones. The silence feels strange. Her mind throws up images of people she envies. She feels the old urge to check their feeds. Instead, she says inwardly, "This is just a thought. This is a habit pattern. It is not who I am." She notices how each thought about being lesser inflates into a story, "I will never be enough." She watches that story and asks, where is the solid think old enough? Does it exist anywhere outside my mind? Again, there is a brief moment of space, a small taste of freedom. She begins to practice small acts of rebellion against her old patterns. She unfollows accounts that trigger endless comparison in her. She limits her screen time at night. She spends those reclaimed minutes listening to teachings about compassion, wisdom, and karma. She starts a gratitude journal, listing 3 things each day that are good in her life, even if simple. She writes down moments when she helped others, when she used her time well. Over months, her inner landscape changes. The voice of comparison is still there, but it is weaker. Another voice grows stronger, one that notices her own growth, her kindness, her perseverance. When she looks in the mirror, she still has preferences, but she no longer speaks to herself with the same cruelty. The hindrance in her mind around appearance and approval begins to dissolve. Through these 3 lives, we can see the core message. What hurts us is not simply what life is. It is what our mind does with it. A mind full of fear, clinging, resentment, guilt, and comparison is always in a state of hindrance. A mind that learns, slowly, to see through illusions, to accept impermanence, to take responsibility without self-hate, to release control and open into compassion, becomes lighter. The article that inspired this script points out that many people misunderstand a mind without hindrance as a cold, detached state. They think it means not caring about anything, not loving deeply, not feeling. That is not what the heart sutra means at all. In fact, the Bodhisattva whose practice is described there uses deep wisdom, but that wisdom is inseparable from profound compassion. A free mind is not numb. It is fully alive, fully engaged, but not entangled. So what does it actually feel like when your heart is not carrying anything heavy? It does not mean you have no responsibilities. You still have a job, bills, family, a body that can get sick. It means that, even as you move through all of that, there is a basic clarity inside. There is a sense that whatever arises can be met as it is, without the extra layer of "this must not be happening" or "this proves I am worthless." When you wake up, you do not feel instant dread of the day. You feel a simple appreciation. I am alive. Conditions allow me to practice, to love, to serve. There will be challenges, but I am not alone and not powerless. When someone criticizes you, you feel the sting, but you do not spend 3 nights replaying it. You examine whether the criticism has truth. If it does, you adjust. If it does not, you let it go. Your whole world does not collapse. When you make a mistake, you feel regret, but not the kind that sinks you. You use it as information and motivation. You apologize where you can. You change your behavior. You do not build a permanent identity out of it. When someone you love leaves or dies, you grieve deeply. You cry. Your heart breaks. But because you have trained in impermanence, in the interdependence of all things, you do not add the sentence, "This should never have happened," or "My life is now over." You let the loss soften you, make you more compassionate to the pain of others, and remind you to use your remaining time well. When you look at your future, you are aware that karma is real. You know that every thought, word, and deed is planting seeds. So you choose more and more often to plant seeds of patience, generosity, truthfulness, and kindness, instead of seeds of selfishness and harm. This gives you a quiet confidence in your destiny. You do not know the details of what will happen, but you trust that a life oriented toward wisdom and compassion will not be wasted. All of this does not happen in one step. It is the result of practice. And practice, in the sense of this teaching, is not limited to sitting on a cushion. It includes how you talk to your parents, how you send messages, how you react when you feel overlooked, how you treat your past self and your future self in your own mind. The Heart Sutra summarizes the path in a few lines, but living it out takes a whole lifetime. The point is not to become a perfect spiritual being. The point is to constantly reduce the hindrance in the mind, less clinging, less ignorance, less fear, more understanding, more compassion, more ease. So how do you begin to walk this path in your own messy, real life? The original article gives a hint. The first step is always seeing clearly what you are actually carrying. Many of us spend years pretending we are fine. We call our anxiety normal pressure. We call our bitterness having standards. We call our self-hatred being realistic. As long as we do that, we cannot put anything down. Tonight, when you lie in bed, you can do a very simple, very brave thing. Instead of reaching for your phone or letting your thoughts run wild, close your eyes, place a hand on your chest, and ask, "What am I really carrying right now?" Do not answer from your head. Let images and feelings arise. Maybe you will see the face of someone whose approval you have been blindly chasing. Maybe you will feel the weight of a mistake you never forgave yourself for. Maybe you will sense a constant humming fear of losing money, losing status, losing love. Maybe you will see your younger self, hurt and confused, still living inside you. Whatever comes, do not turn away. Then, name it gently. I am carrying fear of being alone. I am carrying the belief that I must be perfect to deserve love. I am carrying resentment toward my parents. I am carrying guilt about my child. I am carrying shame about my body. I am carrying the idea that my worth depends on my productivity. Naming it is like turning on the light in a cluttered room. You cannot clean in the dark. Next, remember the teaching: everything you are clinging to is not as solid as it feels. Your self-image, other people's opinions, your bank account, your body, your history, all are changing, dependent, empty of fixed essence. Even your heaviest emotions arise, stay for a while, and pass. They are like waves. They are not the entire ocean. Bring this understanding into your heart, not as a cold concept, but as a source of relief. Whisper inwardly, this fear is real as an experience, but it is not a permanent thing. This guilt is real as a feeling, but it is not my true identity. This attachment is real as an energy, but it is not a solid chain. I do not need to be ruled by these forever. Then, practice letting go in small ways. Letting go does not mean pushing feelings down or pretending you do not care. It means relaxing your grip. For example, if you are clinging to being right in an argument, you might ask, is it more important to prove I am right, or to protect this relationship and my own peace of mind? If you are clinging to an old injury, you might ask, is reliving this hurt every night helping me, or just deepening the groove of pain? Sometimes, letting go will look like forgiveness. Sometimes it will look like changing a habit. Sometimes it will look like walking away from a toxic situation. Sometimes it will simply look like refusing to think the same destructive thought for the 1000th time. In all of this, do not forget compassion, both for others and for yourself. A mind that tries to rip away its attachments violently often ends up more tense. The Heart Sutra is surrounded, in its traditional setting, by a culture of deep kindness. The wisdom of emptiness is always paired with the softness of compassion. So, when you see your own clinging, do not shout at yourself to stop. Smile a little and say, of course you cling. You are human. But now that you see it, you have the chance to do something different. Over time, you can turn this evening practice into a stable rhythm. See what you are carrying. Understand its nature. Let go a little, and plant new seeds of wisdom and kindness. During the day, you can support this by remembering, as often as you can, that every situation is a classroom. When someone cuts you off on the road, you can either carry anger all day, or you can treat it as a chance to practice non-clinging. This happened. I do not need to build a whole story around it. When you feel envy rise, you can either feed it or use it as a mirror. What am I clinging to that makes this so painful? Can I instead rejoice that others have good conditions and focus on cultivating my own path? All of this is karma in action. Each time you respond with more awareness and less grasping, you are creating causes for a future of less inner hindrance. Your destiny is not a fixed script written by someone else. It is being shaped by the way you handle your heart right now. Maybe you are thinking, this sounds beautiful, but I am tired. I am not a monk or a saint. I do not live in a monastery. I have bills, kids, chronic pain, a demanding boss. Is it really possible for me to taste this mind with no hindrance? The answer from the Heart Sutra and from the spirit of the article is yes. The deep wisdom it speaks of does not belong only to people with shaved heads and robes. It belongs to anyone who sincerely examines their own experience and uses it to awaken. The path is not about running away from your life. It is about turning your ordinary life into the ground of practice. You practice when you are stuck in traffic, noticing your impatience and softening it. You practice when your child throws a tantrum, and you take a breath before reacting. You practice when your partner criticizes you, and you listen for the grain of truth instead of instant counterattack. You practice when you say no to something that violates your integrity, even if it costs you. You practice when you apologize without making excuses. Each of these moments is a small act of putting down a piece of unnecessary weight. Over years, the difference is huge. The person people see on the outside might still be an office worker, a parent, a student, a retired neighbor. But the inner landscape will be very different. There will be more space, more light, more fearlessness. Please do not confuse fearlessness with recklessness. A mind with no hindrance does not mean you become careless about consequences. In fact, understanding karma clearly makes you more careful in a wise way. You know that your actions echo into the future, so you act with integrity. Fearlessness here means you are no longer dominated by the basic fear of not being enough, of not being loved, of losing control. You live in alignment with your deeper values, and that alignment gives you a natural courage. Now, As we move toward the closing of this long journey together, I want to speak to you directly, heart to heart. Maybe you have been carrying certain things for a very long time, a broken relationship you never healed from, a family story where you always had to be the strong one, a childhood wound you never named, a secret worry that your whole life is meaningless, a sense of having wasted years, a quiet anger that your efforts are not seen, a fear of dying without having really lived. The teaching we have been exploring does not deny any of this. It does not say, "Oh, it is all an illusion, so just get over it." It says, "Yes, this hurts. Yes, your pain is real as an experience. But if you hold it forever as a fixed identity, you will suffer much more than necessary. There is a way to turn even this into material for awakening. You are not asked to be perfect. You are asked to be honest and willing. Honest enough to admit what you are carrying. Willing enough to start putting things down, one by one. Willing enough to train your mind, even when it is inconvenient. Willing enough to prioritize wisdom and compassion over your old habits. You might fail. You will definitely fall back into clinging many times. That is okay. Every time you notice, you have already taken a step outside of it. Awakening is not a straight line. It is a spiral where you revisit the same patterns again and again, each time with a little more clarity, a little more space, a little less fear. Imagine, for a moment, the future version of you who has walked this path for many years. That person will still have human limits, but their eyes will be softer. Their nervous system will be less on fire. Their presence will make others feel safe. When something goes wrong, they will feel the impact, but they will not be shattered. When joy comes, they will enjoy it fully, without clinging as desperately, because they know it will pass. They will be able to sit quietly, without needing constant distraction. They will be able to lie down at night and actually rest. That future version of you is not a fantasy. It is the natural result of countless small choices in the present. Each time you choose awareness over autopilot, acceptance over denial, truth over self-deception, generosity over greed, you are moving in that direction. The Heart Sutra is not promising you a magical escape. It is promising that if you practice deeply, your mind can truly be less hindered, and your life will reflect that. So, my friend, after this video ends, I invite you to try something very simple tonight. When you lie down, before you drift into sleep or distraction, ask yourself quietly, if my heart could put down just one thing tonight, what would it be? Maybe it is a grudge. Maybe it is a self-judgment. Maybe it is a fear. Do not force it. Just see what arises. Then, speak to that thing as if speaking to an old companion. You have been with me a long time. You once protected me, or at least you tried, but now you are heavy. You are not the truth of who I am. I am willing to loosen my grip on you. Even if I cannot let you go completely tonight, I can be a little less attached. Breathe with that intention. Let your breath be a gentle wave washing around the stone in your chest. You may find that the stone shifts a little. It might not disappear, but it may feel less sharp. If you feel comfortable, I would really like to hear about your own journey with this. Have you ever tasted, even for a moment, what it feels like for your heart to be unburdened? Did it happen during meditation, during a walk, after a big cry, in nature, after forgiving someone, or while listening to a teaching? And on the other side, what are you most aware of carrying right now? Which hindrance in your mind feels biggest at this moment in your life? You can share in the comments. You do not have to share everything, just what feels safe. Your words may be the exact reflection someone else needs to realize they are not alone in their struggle and that change is possible. If this long, quiet talk has given you some insight, some comfort, or a bit of motivation to be kinder to your own mind, I warmly invite you to stay connected with this channel. Here we keep exploring themes like awakening, wisdom, karma, compassion, practice, and destiny, not as abstract ideas but as living tools for ordinary people. You can subscribe so you will see future videos, and you can like this one so the platform knows it is worth showing to more heavy hearts. If you feel that having a space like this matters, a space where we do not run away from our pain, but also do not drown in it, you can consider supporting the channel by becoming a member. That support helps us keep creating content that moves slowly and honestly, like a friend sitting beside you on a long night, not trying to fix you, but reminding you of your own inner wisdom. Thank you for staying with me all the way here. May you, step by step, taste what it is like to live with a mind that has fewer hindrances. May your fear slowly turn into courage, your confusion into clarity, your heaviness into compassion for yourself and others. And may there come a day when you can honestly say, even in the middle of this complicated world, right now, my heart is not carrying anything it does not need. Right now, there is space, there is ease, there is peace. At the end of the day, we all need something that brings us back to ourselves. Something that reminds us to slow down, breathe, and stay centered. Simple bracelet can do exactly that. Every bead you touch brings your mind back to calm, back to clarity, back to the present moment. If one of the bracelets you just saw resonates with you, you can find the purchase link in the video description and explore more beautiful styles in our channel store. Let the one meant for you find its way to your wrist.